So this evening, it's going to try to do some ranked play. I haven't done ranked play in a while. I got Luna over there on the couch, kind of watching. Have the webcam. The other Dachshund is somewhere. Don't know where he is. But gonna have people that like watching puppies. I'll have Luna up in the top corner while she's sitting there. So haven't really done ranked play in a while. I did a little bit just because I like at least participating once because you get a free pack of cards. Done anything with limited? I tend to shy. Some of the other things they have going on right now, Festival Fire at Perfos. The only thing I don't like about that, I'm not too keen on 500 gems and or 2,500 gold for one card style. That's it. 2 wins. If they gave the card away and the style, sure. I would drop the 2,500 or the 500 gems, but other than playing with an artisan style deck, there's not really much that I enjoy with that. So my one challenge today, 25 lands. I started new week tomorrow. Got all my XP. I've been watching a lot of the Facebook forums, and people are always like, "Oh, what level are you at?" for different people, and it seems like most people are in the 40s, high 40s. So, I even though you can sit here and go, "Yep, yep, 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 yep," I don't think it's really worth it. So we're gonna do some rank tonight. If I can get out of here, there we go. Now I'll use Merriment. I don't know why they keep on messing with my Robber of the Rich, though. Forgot I put disenchants in. Yeah, the disenchants I've added in after all these freaking enchantment decks. It just got real annoying when I'd have a spell that, like, again, that.
Prepare yourself, Heliod. I have killed one god already. Together, we can exact justice.
Oh, that kind of sucks for them. Man, if I get another land, that'd be great to be able to cast that at Johnny. Aww. I feel like there should be Jeopardy music or something going on here.
Believe in yourself as I believe in you.
And the double fecta is complete. Yeah, you can't get them back. I exiled them. Good luck. Awesome. I think I'm the only person that like plans their turn out while I'm sitting here. So I really like these fortifying provisions. Um, they work really good in this deck. They get a lot of the creatures out of the shock, and my lovely angels out of the, well, except for that card, but I need the castle.
Courage will bloom in all who seek justice.
And that is how that deck works. Really nice deck. Um, so, uh, that's how it should work. So let's try that again. Let's see if I can get up to bronze tier 2. This match isn't as good at going as well as I would like. You know, I put a lot of my stuff. I have MTG Tracker, MTG Arena.pro. I like to look at how the different decks look at when I'm playing against different stuff. Yeah, this could be fun. I'm gonna not do anything with that. I gotta keep on blocking that Yarrox. At least I'm making him spend mana. I really need a Outlaw's Merriment or something. Well, now I got rid of that card. That'll kind of help free up my blockers for something else now. Mono Black's an interesting deck. I really should work on doing a devotion deck. Let's see if they drop out another swamp. I don't know if the Temple of Triumphs really helped me this match. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. So it's all an interesting, there's a new Magic product that they announced. With having theme pack boosters, that's going to be an interesting. You don't know what you're getting. The cool thing is you can just grab 2 packs and go. 40 card deck. So I mean that's kind of interesting. It would have been cool if you knew what, I like how they're saying, like, oh, it could be all cats, it could be all, unicorns or whatever. The cool thing would have been if you could have told what they were, just because, at least then you could sit there and say, oh, it would be really cool to have a unicorn deck, and I'm going to do this. An all green deck. Well, this is going to be interesting. I'm probably going to get mana screwed with white. I probably didn't play that right. I probably should have used Fable Passage to get a white card, a Plains instead of a Mountain, because I'm probably just mana screwed myself. This should be interesting. Black and green reanimation deck, probably. Oh, sorry about that. The one thing I love about the spring weather is the late untap all lands. That's always fun. Need 1 mana, 1 white mana. Ugh. Hate Teferi.
I am not going to sit this one out. I've got it.
I gotta kill that freaking thing.
I only pick targets that everyone is expendable. still here.
Now that's a nice way to cycle out your land cards. Oh, lovely Nissa.
I protect that which cannot protect itself. Harness the elements.
Please let me get another 3/1 creature.
Pain is weakness, leaving the body. Ah, curses, that hurt! You'll regret that.
Now this is an interesting deck. I always like when people don't just net deck. I mean, I don't think I've, for all the Magic games I've played, I don't think I've played a deck like this.
Alive for alive. The land shall conquer you.
This one's probably not going to end well. It's amazing how different, like, planeswalkers can affect the game. That's a nice combo. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. That was a neat deck. Let's try something else. I don't think this one's up to it yet. I don't know if that was a good idea or a bad idea. This Thassa elemental deck I've really enjoyed playing. It's something that I like playing elementals, and it's just been one of those interesting decks that people are like, wait, what? And it's interesting because not a lot of I know there's a white card. I forget what the hell it is off the top of my head. How many cards there are in Magic? And I'm trying to remember what it is, but for the life of me, I can't. That prevents effects happening from when they come into play. But I like, especially with the Frostlings, it can really bind up like whatever character, whatever creature an opponent might have. The only downside is I gotta get some other... That wasn't fun. Well, that wasn't a fun match, you know? I'm never a fan of conceding. Typically I concede if like I did the other match. I'm like, I knew with that person with those 3/4 creatures and Nissa being at loyalty 10, all they were going to do is drop that to minus the 8, get all their lands out, get 3/3 indestructibles, and just start pumping those lands up. So like with that, there was like a no-win condition. There's nothing I could have done with that red-white deck that would have made it possible for me to come out and win. A red-green deck, you know, a 2/2 creature, Thassa, okay, so you can't attack with your 2/2 creature, okay. But we're at 2019. Give your deck a shot. Give your deck a shot. You know, definitely give the deck a shot. You know, just give it a shot. Well, let's play Thassa again. So the other nice thing about the Elemental is, or Thassa, is she's a lot of fun with Healer of the Glade. Like, all these creatures have the ability when an Elemental, well, and then Rising Reef just complicates it, or Risen Reef, you know, when you start bringing out these creatures, you know... Oops. I should have grabbed them off. Oh well, I'll just Frogify at the next turn. I should try to build mono decks. I just remember back in the day, see, I started playing about 3rd edition, 4th edition, around there, revised. I think that's what 3rd edition was. And I never played monocolor decks. Just never did. you know, back in the day with the COPs, and it just was never a good idea to play a mono black deck. Someone brings out a Circle of Protection, and you're pretty much up shit's creek without a paddle. You know, and same thing with like the 4-color deck, 5-color decks. You know, I came from, you know, Slivers. I think was the only 5-color deck I ever had. Would love to get back to, you know, that was one thing I liked about Modern Horizons is all the Sliver creatures. I still have the Sliver Queen that I got all those years ago. Yeah, that's good. Goodbye, Froggy Frog. I hate and love Knights of Ebon Legion. I think it's an awesome black card when I'm playing black. I just absolutely hate it when I'm playing against black. It's a really nice card. It can be one of those cards you have to really be careful of. Just like this pain in the butt fun card. My only hope right now is kill that. Yeah, what the heck. I gotta get this deck rolling. Oh, there we go. Thassa. There's my girl. Because Thassa, Frostlings, Bloodthirsty Aerials, goodbye. Now, the one thing I've learned my lesson about Risen Wreath is I've milled myself with these guys. I would not have done that card. I would have probably gone for one of the other ones, but that's okay. Because once Thassa drops, where you got to be careful. Because this deck has the ability to run like a madman. The only thing I probably screwed up with, I really did not want Thassa becoming a creature, so if he attacks with any of these guys, I'm going to let my Cloudkin Seer die. So that can go back to an enchantment. Because with a creature, that thing had murders. Ooh, I like Spark Double. What do I want to copy? Oh, oops. I think I'm going to let him kill one of my Risen Reaves. Ground that guy. It's kind of funny because that guy actually killing those is actually going to help me unload my hand because I have a full hand of creatures here. And by him killing the Risen Reef, that's going to do a couple things for me. One, it's going to help me just dump my hand of creatures because this is one of my favorite decks. I really do like this Thassa Elemental. You know, especially, yeah, I pulled that mass manipulation. That mass manipulation, man, I added that to this deck. I hate cards with high mana costs, but I added that to this deck when I was playing somebody late game and they basically stole all my shit. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this is bullshit. And I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, that's the perfect card for that late game. You know, the Frogifies, I love Frogify. I love being able to take a creature and just make them lose their ability. It's like that ultimate, like, oh, look, you want to use this guy for something. Sorry, no more. You're not going to use him. He's now a 1/1 creature. Even with that graveyard, the graveyard bird, you know, it's an easy way to just remove any strategy they might have. I'm the Thassa deck. You know, I'll probably post that in the comments. I mean, you can also go out to MTG Arena. I do post it out there. If you give me a second, I'll sit here and I'll see what that is up to. But yeah, MTG Arena Pro Tracker. Great, definitely a great tool. I mean, a lot of good decks out there. I like watching my win-loss rates for different decks to try to figure out what deck. So my Thassa Elemental deck, it has a record right now of 21-8. So 72.4% win rate. That's the Divine Outlaw deck I was playing earlier has a 67.5% win rate. 54 to 26. If I went to my local LGS, I would probably bring my Thassa Elemental. Just because it's such a unique deck, I haven't played anything like it. And also, I haven't played a lot of mono white. And again, like I said, I wish I could remember what the white card is. Was it in Theros? It's basically like anything that comes in. Hmm. Maybe it wasn't. Could have been an Eldraine. There it is, Hushbringer. So, Hushbringer is a neat card. I haven't seen it in a lot of decks. But, that would be the interesting card. I would put it in a deck if I was going to a tournament with white. I would definitely include Hushbringer in the sideboard at least. I mean, it's a 1/2 creature. So you definitely have to have a way to beef it up so you can stop a deck like the Thassa Elementals. But the Thassa Elementals, it's a really fun deck. I had another Elemental deck. If I come back out here. So I have two. I have Elementally My Dear and Thassa Elemental. These two, very similar. If I bring this one up, we got the Healer of the Glades, we got the Cloudkin Seers, we had the Overgrowth Elemental, we had the Risen Reefs, we had the Spark Doubles, Cavalier Gulls. That one actually has two, because I think, yeah, I got one later. The Cavalier Gulls, and yeah, see, this one I added, well, this one I got. This one I could probably tweak a little bit more. I'd love to get my Elementally My Dear deck a little bit better. But I really think the Thassa Elemental deck. This one has, Nissa. You can't have an Elemental deck though without Nissa, especially with the 3/3 lands. It does have Mu-Yang Ling. And believe it or not, I wasn't a big fan of this Planeswalker. I'm like, why is she like a freaking mythic? But for decks that have a lot of flying, she's kind of like the anti-flying card in this deck. So she kind of is great at grounding creatures. This deck was built before, I want to say before Throw to Eldraine. And like I said, I just threw in my Fabled Passages just because, again, trying to get the cards out of the land cards out so I can start pulling all these creatures. And even, I mean, Castle Vantress, I saw that in a lot of blue decks um, with the Scry ability. You know, and that might be something I might throw in my Thas Elemental because uh, the ability. I mean, I really liked how the people in the championship are using Scry to really try to draw out their cards. Just for the hell of it, tweak some of this. Um, I always like tweaking. I don't try to tweak decks too much. Um, just from the standpoint of uh, if a deck's doing good, I don't want to mess it up. I mean, I try to keep a lot of my decks. Um, you know, I try to save a lot of them. A lot of these I don't play. They were just ones that we're messing around with. I do am building up my uh, wild cards. Final Adventure. If you haven't played any of the challenge decks, Final Adventure is really cool. I did a video the other day about that one. The other ones I have coming down here, and a lot of these I got to really look through and say, hey, you know, it is really worth keeping them. Um, I'm the type of person that builds a deck and then doesn't ever get rid of it. Um, Especially like Sorcerer's Apprentice fun deck. Very similar, these two. The black added a little bit more creature kill, a little bit more control. Uh, you know, Yarok Elementals. You know, this deck I really should put Thas in. I need to redo that deck. I have the other ones that the challenge deck, or yeah, challenge deck. Flash of Ferocity, Allied Fires, and Cavalcade Charge. You know, the nice thing is I know with the other decks, they gave you a code if you bought the deck. So I did the Golgari deck just because I kind of like that one the best. Um, when the last set of challenge decks came out, I made the mistake of buying all the wild cards, and then they had the codes, and I'm like, shit. Um, I wasted a lot of wild cards. Uh, you know, I gotta go through here and purge a lot of these just because some of them, you know, they definitely need to be tweaked more. And like, if I look at Yarok Elementals, I mean, this deck, fun deck to play. You know, a lot of creature kill again, Risen Reef. You know, you got Yarok coming in. You know, cause a trigger ability, triggers an additional time. And again, this is a pre-fabled passage. And I know there's other cards that see how that changes the count. Really doesn't. Return another creature to your owner's hand. And even like Fabled Passage versus Chromatic Lantern. So this is definitely going to be a one I got to add Thassa to. Out of all the gods, I guess this is considered a god. Really, the only one I've really been playing with. Should I add another? You know what? I'll add another one of them. God, only if paper magic was so that easy. Assassin's Trophy. It seems like this deck needs more creatures. But yeah, definitely, I got to go through a lot of these and just see how they deal with Adventure Time. This is a fun deck. I don't know why I don't play this one more often. So put those 4 cards in, drops it back down. Red and black scry. Is there a red and black scry? There is. So a lot of these decks I've been putting in a lot of these decks I just tried to manage the mana and the lands, but and again, like I said, I mean, after seeing so what I should do is I should, probably one of my other videos is I'm just going to start looking at updating decks. Is this actually... And I wish, I wish you could, like, I wish with, and again, I only know the MTG Arena Pro, but I wish I could sit here and say, okay, if I do this change, let me reset the total win count and see if that has actually helped or hurt me modifying the deck. I think that's one of the challenges is trying to see how modifying these decks changes your win-loss rate. Now, this deck is one of my newer decks. So, this is using Dream Trawler. Now, Dream Trawler is an interesting deck. Someone gave me the challenge of trying to create a Dream Trawler deck. And I've been having a hard time really coming up with something for this deck. And I think it's this one. No, maybe it's not this one. My problem is I'm so scatterbrained when it comes to decks. I thought it was a blue and white Dream Trawler. No, it's this one with the high alert. So this one's been one of the ones I've been really thinking of, and yeah, there's 2 Dream, and it's using high alert and trying to basically make I'm trying to look at a deck that I can use to kind of counter the burn decks. I hate burn decks. I just really, they just annoy the living crap out of me, especially Cavaclade or whatever the hell it is. So this is kind of a deck that I'm hoping can kind of really mess with those type of decks. I love Dovin. I think Dovin's probably one of my favorite Planeswalker. I love Thopters. And I just was skiing today and thought, you know what? High alert, fortifying provisions. Perfect way of boosting creatures. So I'm going to end this video. Where's my computer? Nope, there it is. I think I'm going to end this video just because I want to try to do some stuff with some testing. And I really don't want to do anything with this. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The season ends in 6 days. I got 1 pack of Theros. Um, you know what? Let's play some more Thassa Elemental. Go big or go home. I think the highest I got in this was gold level 2, but I'm not a meta player. Hydra's Growth, one of my favorite cards. One of my most annoying cards to have to deal with, but one of my favorites nonetheless. It's going to be another mono black deck. I have a feeling. Well, this should be interesting. Next turn, Castle Vantris. Next turn, Risen Reef. Next turn, Risen Reef. Hopefully they don't kill my creature. I'm going to be sad when Risen Reef. I haven't seen any spoilers. I don't even know if they're talking about spoilers for Core Set 2021. Um, but I'm going to be really sad if Risen Reef is not in that one. Oh, there it is. Disfigure. Well, knew that was coming. Well, I'm waiting for my opponent's turn. Because I really don't know if there's Core Set 2021 spoilers. I gotta kill one of these creatures. This deck has problems with mono black. Don't know why. At least I'm getting him to get rid of all his freaking Sorin Thirst. Those two creatures are mine. That's going to be interesting. Bottom, bottom. God, I love those Hydra Gross. And that right there is why I put mass manipulation in. Because that late game, you're picking off my creatures, picking off my creatures, picking off my creatures. Can't get Hydras on there. That right there is the whole reason why. So, you know, I really like, like I said, I really like, um, I definitely like the Thassa's Elementals. I put that in there just because it was something different. The other thing I hate that I got to go through these decks too is, I'm starting to get decks that are like very similar in design, and it's like, well, should probably delete this one. You know, um, I forget what TBD, Elspeth Soldiers. Yeah, the Elspeth Undone and Hero, great Planeswalker deck. Remember if you buy these, you can get the lovely planes that looks like this. The only problem now, I got to decide. Uh-oh, network error. Mm-mm. Hmm. Wonder what happened there. Um, hmm. The one thing I still got to decide, and I'm not 100% sure. So, you know, these Nyx lands. I haven't decided yet. Is it worth? Now, I bought the red and the green because you couldn't buy them. I bought the Planeswalker decks in Real Magic. I do play occasionally, paper Magic. I'm more of a collector of paper Magic. I hate to ruin cards, so I'm not a big player. I have a nice collection, but mostly just for something to collect. But um, with these, I haven't decided if I'm going to buy them. Is it worth 3 packs of cards? I mean, I already bought the two, and the only reason I bought the two is because the dog decided to leave. No more dog on the video. The puppy's mommy came home.